I swear to God, is it gonna go or what?
Yeah, really.
Yep, there it is.
There we go.
That was a delay. I'm used to the faster,
really.
the bigger, better, faster Streamyard, which is
Right.
bullshit because it is not. Now, and get this, dude,
What?
it's changed again since
What
the last time.
Oh, did it?
Every fucking time we get on Streamyard, they did something different, and it's like.
I know that there's always like some kind of new update. I just like now I just make it a point to just like close out all their updates and just like I'll deal with it later.
Well, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you know. Oh my goodness. So how you doing, Nita? So today is the sacred holiday.
Yeah. It's the international holidays 420. And like you do, I got up and I waked and I baked. And because my husband's not feeling good and he looked warm and snuggly in bed instead of at work, I crawled back in there. And so I've been up for 3 minutes.
So I'm lucky to have you, like up and about enough. Well, at least now all you have to do
is the holy day. You have to say blessed, Daphne.
Oh, yeah,
You're blessed.
Okay. You're blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. Right?
Good morning, everyone. It is April 20th, 2026, and this is the Ragin 2, the vlogs. Yeah, there's things and stuff. I don't even know.
There's a lot to catch up on, I guess. Is there?
Did I lose? I don't even know if there's that.
Oh my goodness. So
are you ready for this?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
Here we go.
There we are. There we are.
It's just gonna take a second. I just gotta get my bearings over here.
Right, exactly. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So who's joining us in the chat? Oh, hello, Nicholas. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. And yes, I see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching from regions beyond. If you're joining us from Facebook, come on over to YouTube and join the sexy people in the chat and keep them company. Today was the first glitch I had with Facebook, so I don't trust it. It's sus. I went to post the Streamyard, and for some reason, Facebook made two versions of it. Like it made a copy, like two streams on Facebook. So I deleted one, but like every time I go follow the link, it says like, oh, this stream has been canceled, but the other one, the duplicate, is still there, like nothing happened. So it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, fuck all that shit.
Really. Oh, also heads up, Nita. It's like I forgot to I think most systems are suffering a hot contact high today. I forgot to limit the commentary on the streams. I knew I was forgetting something because usually.
Oh, great! So now all the fucking weirdos
are gonna like start coming in. So just to give you a heads up.
All right.
Because I usually like limit the streams to like people who can comment to subscribers only, but I forgot to hit that. I've only been gone for 3 weeks and I completely forgot how to do this. Oh my goodness. So there we go. So I guess, officially.
Did your sister give you my kiss?
What?
I told you to kiss your sister.
Lorraine says hello. Yes.
Jesus
hello.
Christ.
Oh my goodness. So, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist, self-publishing fantasy comics since 1992. You do the math on that. I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales. Can you find the graphics? Are you looking for the computer? Hello?
Oh, wait, hold up. Wait, what am I supposed to be doing?
Bring up the Tall Tales card.
Tall Tales.
There we go.
All right,
yes,
all right,
I am
all right.
known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales. Oh my god. And the medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. Both of these comics you can read online at my main website, eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS.com. And next to me, the co-host with the co-most. Here's Nita.
I'm Nita. Hi, I'm Nita. I don't even know, man. I might have been better off not even showing up for you this morning.
Well, at least now. So how's the new desk setup? So technically all you have to do is roll out of bed and into a chair, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, I got to walk around to Chris's side of the bed, but whatever.
Right.
His whole side of the room is now an office, so we don't have sides anymore.
Oh, okay.
But what the side of the room formerly known as Chris's,
right?
Yeah. So
I'm a little surprised you didn't put your desk on your side of the bed.
We did try that at first, but I didn't like the setup because it made the back door inaccessible. And my patio is like my fucking sanctuary. That is where I'm grounding myself and ignoring the world.
Right.
And I want easy access. I don't want to have to walk out my front door and maybe have to speak to a neighbor to go have my coffee in peace.
Right.
And fuck them people.
Right. Neighbors, people. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like so you've been like setting up your garden like something nice out there. So
I'm working on it. Working on it. And I got permission to expand the project.
Oh.
So yeah. So I'm gonna have a nice little rock fountain built out there and everything. And and I've been doing this myself. Like, it's crazy. Like, YouTube is amazing.
Right.
Thank you. I go to YouTube University. It is excellent.
Right. It's like, God bless all the people who just film themselves just doing just housework.
Because like housework or simple repairs too. Right. Like our toilet wouldn't be flushed in the middle bathroom if it wasn't for Mercury Stardust YouTube.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, it's like I learned how to rewire a lamp recently.
Let's see what else I do. I replaced a touch screen on a computer.
Oh.
Like I thought it would be something like so super complicated.
Right.
It was literally like just a bunch of tiny screws and one plug. Right. That was it.
Huh.
That was it. If your screen gets smashed, fix that shit yourselves, people. It's super fucking easy.
That's funny. Yeah.
If you have steady hands and good vision, you can do that yourself.
Right. Which I have neither.
Well, sometimes that's a good thing.
I mean, the amount of times I have to switch glasses just at my desk, depending on what I have to do, is really annoying. But
hi.
Oh, I will not be able to do this today.
I'm trying. Look, I'm trying. I'm here.
Right.
I'm
yes.
here.
Yes.
My presence is appreciated.
Yes,
it should be anyway. I know my worth.
Yes, it is. The show just isn't
even when I'm worthless. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my goodness. So also before a little housekeeping, because I've been gone for a couple of weeks, so I'm now just kind of like catching up with everything.
Speaking of, how's your mom's?
Oh, she's good. She's good.
Okay.
So we went through the entire hassle of selling an apartment, moving my mom back to New York, and now she's getting used to this lovely November weather we're having in the middle of April.
I
even had
so
to
love
put
that. I can't
I
wait to come see all you guys now.
it's like I had to break out a long sleeve because it's like it was like 80 degrees the other day and now it's like 30 something and it's like what the heck, it's almost the
Oh,
end of
yours
April.
gave you days? You
Huh?
had days? We
Day.
had literal hours. Like you woke up, walked
Right.
outside. I was like, oh shit, you come back in because your nipples are sharp.
You
And
know,
you put
right,
on long sleeves and go back out, and then you
and you're
got sweat up
sweating.
and down your butt crack.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
what is this?
really, so it's like
Flattery
there
will
you
get you
go.
everywhere, Nicholas.
Absolutely, Nick. Absolutely. But yeah, so everything's good. So now it's just all about acclimating to the new normal that's here. But it's
Right,
not that
right.
bad.
I'm so excited. I love your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. I do too.
Okay, back to business. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah. So no, it's okay. So yeah, so the other housekeeping that we have, that also the other things that I had to keep to kind of like remember that we are doing. Oh, so excuse me. So we have launched Adventure Finders, which is the first book out of the Indie Comics Network channel. I guess that it is a collaboration with Rod Espinoza, and this is a fantasy comic that he has been doing at the moment exclusively on his Patreon, and this is going to be the first time that we are helping him.
She does.
Right, we are helping Rod put together a trade paperback for the first time of his series. The thing is that Rod is in the Philippines and he can't run a Kickstarter from there, so we are collaborating with him for everybody to get this collection of Adventure Finders, which is a really nice fantasy book. I've been putting together the files for it, and even I want this book, so I'm very excited for this campaign. We're very close to reaching goal, and so the link to this is the link to everything that I want to show here is going to be in the chat. So if you want to check it out. Also, the next campaign is also where's my there we go. Is JD Calderon's Magi's Grace. This is Magi's Grace issue 3, issues 1 through 3. It's a story about some paranormal not investigators. They're more like they're more like a cleanup crew for the supernatural. And this is the ongoing story. It's issue 1, 2, and 3 of a 4-issue limited series, drawn by C. Michael.
Oh yeah. I think he does.
Yeah, he actually drew the book.
I sleep with that guy.
Right. So so
okay.
JD Calderon wrote it. C. Michael Lanning drew it, and we have 14 days to go left on the campaign. So this is issue 1, 2, and 3 of this 4-issue limited series. And last but not least, I mean, I didn't even know this went live, and I had to scramble.
How are you on my socials and not know it went live?
Because I don't have Facebook anymore on my phone.
Oh, that's right.
I only have Messenger on my phone, so I don't miss any messages. But if anything on there forces me to go to Facebook, I have to wait till I get in front of my computer. And Rob Multari's Snowball Volume 1 is now live. And I have to admit, he kind of made it difficult for me.
Show that hardcover. It is gorgeous.
He made it difficult for me. So he has now, on this one, he has this beautiful die cut cover, hardcover, right, along with this really beautiful looking, just beautiful cover from Mog Park, on the soft cover. So I had to sit here going, oh, really? Which one do I get? But in the end, I decided to go with the soft cover so that it matches the rest of the Nightwolf soft covers that I have. I mean,
oh my god, I didn't even consider that. I just fell in love with the leather.
Right.
The
Yeah.
the
It's
leather
like yeah.
bound.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a faux
that's
leather
that is so
with
gorgeous.
with a die cut, with a die cut so you could see the tartan pattern. And it's like it has gold foil. I mean, he really went out on this. All he
Yeah, he
needed
did.
was like the painted edges and
That
it's like
Ooh,
Rob,
he
this
should
should
make
have
that a
painted
stretch goal.
edges. This should have painted edges. Why doesn't this
He
have
needs to make it
painted
a stretch
edges?
goal. Gilded edges are like
Yeah.
a couple dollars
Yeah, to
away
go
or
to
something.
go with the gilding on the foil on the
man,
cover. I
it's
mean, it's
so
just
pretty.
like I really had to sit here and go, God damn it. But in the end, I ended up getting the volume 1 soft cover, so that it matches the other books that I have. So if you want to, or if you, this is, you want to finally pick up this soft cover, I think it's it collects issues 1 through 4 of Snowpaw. It's on Kickstarter right now. Link is in the chat. If you like fantasy werewolves, because who doesn't? I mean, there are people who don't, but
you're lame.
Yeah. Can't help you there.
You're in the wrong place.
Right, exactly. So you can pick up your copy. Like I said, the link is in the chat. So, oh my goodness. So okay, so let me just there we go. So that's basically the 3 campaigns that I'm catching up on right now. So it's like I said, I've been a couple of weeks away. It's like acclimating my mom back to New York like a beta fish in a plastic bag.
Oh.
But no, it's working out well. It's working out well. So so like I said, it's just getting used to the new normal, and but I still have to do work anyway. So that doesn't change. Work doesn't change. We don't know her. That's true. People who don't like werewolves, we don't know her.
Nope.
So anything else that's happening on your end that
I literally am like, there's nothing to talk about other than the usual. I'm doing my work. Got all the ethereal comics coming out. Got Rob. Got Tim's getting ready to launch again. But cool. Like outside of that, and cooking dinner for people, I am either in the yard or in the bed.
Oh, okay.
Like dead ass serious. Like I am hands on my hands and knees digging in the dirt, or I am in bed sore as fuck from being on my hands and knees digging in the dirt. There's no in between. It is bringing me back to life and simultaneously killing me at the same time.
Well, but it's a good feeling, It's like you're literally touching grass and soil and creating things, and I
have to have that connection or I can't function.
Right. Yeah. It's a better way to keep busy than doom scrolling.
Damn straight. Straight.
Finding out that religious people don't know what a fake Bible passage sounds like. I mean, really, this reality is
disclaimer, not all Christians.
Not all Christians. Yeah,
not all Christians.
Most I would like to think that most
not all men, not all Christians.
I would like to think that most Christians know that Quentin Tarantino made that shit up.
I'm gonna die.
Oh, I swear to God, this reality cannot.
You're very welcome, sir.
Cannot beat the shittiest comic book I have ever read.
It can't.
God,
it just
really
can't.
It's just
game of Red Rover. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, for real. It's not even Game of Thrones.
It's not. It's schoolyard.
I mean, I think if there was one thing that George Orwell got wrong, it's
the jocks versus the intellectuals.
Not even. It's like I think that the one thing that George Orwell and even like Aldous Huxley got wrong to our detriment is how stupid all of this will be. How absolutely mind-numbingly stupid.
I'm just gonna laugh until we die. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
here.
agree.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. It's just gonna. I'm
yeah,
just gonna laugh about it. It's
yeah.
just nothing.
That's all we can do,
It's
really.
how we cope here.
Right, yeah. You know?
This is true. That this is actual, because see, in Game of Thrones, if you read the books, you got the consequences of the incest. You didn't really get that on the TV show because everybody's beautiful and perfect and stuff like
Right,
that. They
yeah,
didn't talk about
it's
the malformed demonic babies.
right. It's like, yeah, I always hated that trope. I don't know, for some, it's like we literally have historical references to look at, to look back on this. I mean, the Habsburgs are right there.
I
Right.
know,
But
right?
for some reason, it's like
My jaw
everything
dropped when he
is-
said that.
it's like it's but for some reason when it comes to fantasy, right, it's like the only thing that happens in incest is that everyone ends up with beautiful white hair and
Right.
magical powers
And fair
like-
skin and the bluest eyes.
right, or violet eyes
Or
whatever.
violet eyes,
Right,
actually.
when,
but yeah.
when technically everyone ends up, in a long enough timeline, everyone ends up looking like that episode from the X-Files.
Dude, but in the books, Rhaenyra's got kids like that, dude.
Yeah.
One didn't make it, and deformed
Right.
ones, and like everything. Like they did allude to the one, but they didn't even show it on House of Dragon.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of little inbred babies. The twins were
Right.
deformed.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, man.
right. And also you got
The books are better. The books are
Right.
better, but he's
You
never
know,
going to finish them.
Well, it's like, I read
Typical man can't
someone had
finish
put-
anything.
No, I had read a theory that it's like the reason it's not that yeah, exactly. It's not that J.R.R. Martin didn't finish the book. The conspiracy theory is that he did finish the book. It's just that it will not be it will only be published posthumously because people are so brain rotted over the whole thing that he'd rather not be here to find out how people really think about his ending.
Oh my god.
True, not true. Who knows? Who cares?
That is the micro penis of excuses.
I mean, it is just really funny. Talk about. I mean, I think that's. But in a similar vein, though, so because I think like the issue with J.R.R. Martin, right, is the fact that because the television series pretty much finished the story, that I guess also the other thing is that he didn't feel a reason to finish the book because like, you bitches can just watch the series anyway.
Right.
And especially in this shithole environment that we're in, that it's like, even if he does finish the book, it's like, yeah, there's going to be the whole thing about, like, the whole discourse around the actual ending is just going to be like, who needs that shit? So recently, Richard and Wendy Peeney had put out I guess like a new, well, they put out a newsletter, not exactly a press release, but just pretty much a newsletter that they're done. Oh, hey there. That they're completely done with trying to adapt ElfQuest to the big screen or the little screen or to Netflix or to movies or whatever. They're done. Yeah. They're done. It's over. They don't want to talk about it anymore. So I think it was like a couple of years ago, they had said that they had been I guess like they were made an offer. I don't remember if it was Fox for Netflix or it was supposed to be like they got made an offer for an ElfQuest television series, either like for Netflix or something. And these people had said that they were huge fans and they wanted to make a faithful adaptation and this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
And I guess a couple of weeks ago, because I think that's when I saw the original post that I think Richard had done. The thing was just dead in the water. That he just made the announcement that it's like it's not going to happen. The deal is finished. It's not, and he went through this entire interesting article, pretty much showcasing every time they got, studios came to them to like going, oh, it's like, we want to do ElfQuest and blah, blah, blah. And how each of them ended up in disaster. And it seems that when it comes to Hollywood, when people say that when if anyone comes up to you saying it's like, oh yeah, we're a fan, we want to make a faithful adaptation, the caveat is that
what is their interpretation?
We want to be faithful as long as we get to change everything about the book that we love. Because every single studio told them the same thing. We love it. We want to, this, that, and the other thing, but we need to change everything about it. Right. So the first one was the CBS Saturday morning cartoon, which happened around like in the late 80s. Right. They made that off in the late 80s. And they wanted to turn it into like a little kid slapstick shit like the Smurfs.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
And
polyerotic elf colony
children. Right. Oh no, epic. Right, yeah.
That'll go over so well with a million moms.
Well, it's like, the thing that they really needed changed that kind of like that killed the deal was that they said you have to make Lita white. There is no way an interracial couple. You don't know about that? That's like they had said that there's no way we're going to put an interracial couple on Saturday morning.
I heard of like delays or denials over homoeroticism.
They didn't even get to that part yet. I mean, it was just the whole thing that it's like, we cannot have an interracial couple on Saturday morning. And not only do you have to lighten up the kids to make them white, but you have to reverse their personalities, because there is no way we're going to put a tomboy girl on Saturday morning as well. And it's like, then you're not making ElfQuest then. It's like, it's and then the next time that they had an offer that they were offered by a studio to do ElfQuest was when Lord of the Rings started coming out, and there was this huge frenzy over fantasy. Exactly. It's like, it's kind of like Lord of the Rings of Power, how it's faithful to the Amazon version of Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings. So when the original Lord of the Rings was coming out in theaters, right, there was this frenzy for like picking up fantasy IPs. And again, Elf Studios said, it's like, okay, we heard ElfQuest is hot and we want in on that, right? Well, we love it. We want to make a faithful adaptation, but we want to make a faithful adaptation that looks more like Lord of the Rings than ElfQuest.
Wait, what?
And so it was supposed to be all CGI, and it's and it looked nothing like ElfQuest. It looked like Lord of the Rings, ElfQuest if it was Lord of the Rings. I mean, it was just like absolutely horrible. It would have been, shitty.
No.
And then I know that Wendy had, I think, like lived 20 years in California just to kind of like negotiate like these deals and whatnot, and to keep shopping ElfQuest around. And it's like, and the thing is like, whenever something gets optioned, that's years out of your life.
Right.
That's pretty much in the end wasted on these endeavors, because in the end she's working on these projects, trying to push them through, and in the end the studios will go, yeah, we love it, but right. So this live action CGI version of ElfQuest fell through once they realized that they didn't want ElfQuest, they wanted another Lord of the Rings, and and then it kind of like, I guess like they had spent their time still trying to shop it around without success. And then they had this last one. I think these were the three major ones. I'm pretty sure that there were probably smaller deals that they got involved with that didn't go anywhere either. That's why it's like, I've heard the story that sometimes you make more money off of optioning your IP rather than the actual making of the IP into something. So then like they had this last deal where again it was just like, oh, we love it, it's like we want to make a faithful adaptation, but you have to change everything.
Oh god.
I mean, we're talking about they literally wanted to get rid of Skywise.
Wait, what?
Yeah. They wanted, it's like, yeah, we love
There
Elf
is
Quest.
no Elf Quest
There
without
is no Elf Quest
Skywise.
without Skywise. They
What the
wanted to
fuck?
combine Skywise's story into Carter's
No, fuck
story.
you. Skywise is my
No, and
favorite.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he's my boy. You can't mess with him. You know, and it's like, at that point, it's like, you know what? No, we're done. You know, and that's not even talking.
Oh no, there's still plenty of hotness, but
you know what? But you know what? They would have taken all that out too, because it's like you said, it's like really, it's like because honestly, it's like, you know, probably some of the reason they wanted to get rid of Skywise was because of kind of like the homoeroticism that's in that relationship,
right? Yeah, right.
You know.
Which is a very beautifully written relationship, by the way.
And you know, and it's like, and it's like no, and at that point, Richard and Wendy are like going, no, if you're not going to make Elf Quest, either Elf Quest is done the way it is, or it's not Elf Quest, which means you can go do your own shit and have nothing to do with us. So they finally closed that chapter. They says, you know what, everybody. You know, by this point, everybody has come up with their own version, their own mental version of what an Elf Quest movie would look like. And he goes, you know what? Nothing can top that. And I go, well, actually, yeah, one thing can top that. And it's another audio drama, which I hope that they consider.
Did you say that?
You should totally I forgot to. I forgot to.
Oh my gosh. The audio drama was amazing.
Because the audio drama that they had kickstarted several years ago was absolutely amazing. And so it was an audio drama done for Fire and Flight, which is the first book. And you know, and for a bit, you know, like Richard, and I asked Richard if there was going to be another one, if they were going to continue. It's like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. You know, we don't want to write anything off, right? And I think that had to do with the fact that if there was going to be a television series, he didn't want to put that effort into making the audio drama when the, you know, but now that the television series is out of the way, that's done, it's dead, you know, we can render that horse body into glue. That I'm kind of hoping that puts the audio play or whatever, you know, the audio movie back, you know, on the table, because it's kind of different. You know,
it's complicated, Nicholas, because they want to make toys that the kids want too. I bet.
Well,
like can't have that now,
right? And you got to remember too, the gay hockey show is an accident,
right?
I don't think. Right.
And if children touch gay action figures, they immediately turn into homosexuals.
Right. Because we know this to be true.
Facts.
You know? So you know. So I'm hoping that gets put back on the table, because that audio play thing was amazing.
It really was.
You know,
I've listened to it like 4 times now.
Yeah, no, I have to listen to it again. You know,
we listened to it together.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, absolutely. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that.
I still, and it's like, I still have the links to the sign language version.
Right.
Because if you just go to the regular links on YouTube for the audio version, you get a lot of commercials. But if you listen to the sign language version, for some reason, it doesn't have the commercials. So, you know,
we learned that. So be deaf and go listen to it.
No, because it's really.
We should do it again, Daphne.
We should, especially now that, you know, this series isn't, you know, happening,
right?
So, but but there was one thing that they had said that I found interesting and kind of weird, and I don't know, maybe, you know, I'll ask I'll eventually ask Richard if he can kind of like expand on it. That he had said that if they had taken that first deal with CBS Say that they said, fuck it, this is going to be our only chance. We'll make the changes, whatever. We'll take the deal with CBS. That he said that most likely that show wouldn't have lasted to its second season. Right. And, or if they were lucky, it would only have it would only have 2 seasons. But he says that, you know, looking back on it, he's like, you know, that show was going to go nowhere the way that they were developing it. Right. And he had said that because of them rejecting that first offer and not doing the Saturday morning cartoon, that's the reason why we even got the ElfQuest that we got today.
Huh.
Because he said that pretty much if that had happened, they wouldn't have finished the series.
Oh, wow.
And I found that, like I said, I found it odd and disconcerting, you know, because it's like, you know, this was supposed to be Wendy's magnum opus, right?
Right.
And to think that it could have stopped then and there because of a shitty television version of it. Like, I don't know if maybe like they felt that it would have killed the potential of the comic book, or it would have killed interest, you know, because if it had a failed Saturday morning, everyone would have said, well, that means the comic is a failed comic. Or I don't know. Like I said, eventually I'll probably ask him if he could kind of like expand on that. Like, what did you mean by that?
Dude, we should have them
on.
Or just Richard.
Right. Or it's like, would Wendy have just said, you know, fuck it, this failed, so why bother with the rest of the comic?
I don't know. Miss Peony is a funky character. She's feisty.
You know, right. So that's why I'm kind of like, I find it a little hard to believe that would have killed the series completely.
I do see. That's her passion. Those are her babies.
But I'm glad it didn't. You know, I'm glad that that's not what happened.
Right.
You know, but I would like, because it's like, you know, especially lately, right? I mean, it's like, you know, getting to the topic, right? Getting to the topic of the show, right?
Oh, we have a topic?
Well, you know, I tried to have a topic. Yeah.
We're on a struggle bus?
Right. So me and Jose were talking, we're having a conversation. I forgot specifically what it was, but there was like a funny thing that popped up that made me think of the title. Joe says, that's interesting. Would the cartoon change the trajectory of the source material where the magnum opus couldn't be done because of TV lore? I have no idea what it was. But again, that kind of goes back to Game of Thrones, right? Where it's like, maybe the television series changed his interest / trajectory of the book to an extent that he doesn't know how, like, he hasn't figured out how to, I don't want to say he doesn't know, but he hasn't figured out how to meld the two. You know, where it's like, is the expectations of the series that was established by the series going to change the expectations for the actual book? Because we know how much it changes, you know, between the two. So I don't know if that was the case with ElfQuest. So, you know, so me and Jose were talking, like I said, I forgot what the thing was, but the thing that stood out for me, that kind of made up the title, was that whether you think of yourself as doing comics as a business, or you think of yourself as doing comics as art, we're both struggling. People are struggling to make comics a business, and people are struggling to make comics as an art form. But the only constant is the struggle, right? Like, only very few people actually make it, you know, as like they turn it into this full-time, you know, like this full-time endeavor where they're literally like, this is literally their job. Very few people, very small percentage, right? But everybody else, whether you're doing it for commerce, or you're doing it for art, we're all struggling in the same boat of trying to do these books, whatever it is, you know, whatever comics that we're doing, in this environment that just seems very hostile to the idea. Colleen Duran had posted a little a little quote that it made me laugh out loud when I saw it. To paraphrase that, to be successful in comics, you have to be adept at being a good business person. But the fact that you chose but you've already proven to be a bad business person by choosing comics to be your business. Something to that effect. That pretty much, you have to be a business person to be successful at comics, but you've already proven to be bad at being a businessman by choosing comics. To get into business. I mean, it was, so it was just funny. The actual quote was a lot clearer, but so it was
so
like
much
just
more businesses.
It's like, and
I'm
it's just
out. I don't know what the deal is.
Right. So, and so on one hand, you have all these people in comics who they're essentially cosplaying as business people. It's like they want to make this a business, but just the mere fact that they're doing comics kind of inherently proves that they're not good at this. And and it's like, and it's all, and it's a struggle, it's like it's a struggle to make that your only thing, right? And then conversely, you have artists who are doing comics as an art form, right? And they're struggling in an environment that on one hand forces you to monetize this, to make it a business, but now you're really talking about people who don't know how to run a business because they're too busy being artists to actually think of this as a business. So, and it's just kind of like, oh, so in the end, it's like this is what we have in common, this struggle of wanting to tell these stories. That's the struggle. Because we're in an environment that's not really conducive to that. I mean, it's like, I think that Richard and Wendy Pini, like, they really defied the odds. Like, as I remember, reading articles about how Wendy was trying to shop around ElfQuest just as a comic. And people were like going, what the fuck is this? It's a fantasy and drawn by a girl, an icky girl. It's like, it's like nobody wants this. Right. And that was like another thing too that Jose had said, that, it's like, you're making a comic. And I think like the one big question that I guess like everybody should ask themselves, or it's like, who wants this? Right? Who wants this? Who asked for this? Right? And and Jose, it's and because it was Jose that said it, it means that it's a trick question. Because the who asked for this, right? The answer to that question pretty much should prove why you're doing what you're doing. Because it's like, if somebody, comes to my table and looks at my book, looks at Igor Rave, and go, who the fuck asks for this?
I asked for it, bitch.
And I go, and my answer would be, who cares who asked for it? I wanted it. And it's like, and that's always going to be my answer. I don't care if you don't want it. I wanted it. I wanted this book to exist. That's why it exists. Who asked for Tall Tales? Oh, I asked for Tall Tales because they asked me if I wanted to work on Tall Tales, and I said yes. Because I wanted that book too. So it's like,
right.
I asked for this, right? And if your first reaction to that question, who asked for this shit, is to flinch and go, oh, well, it's like, well, but, it's like, oh, I thought I could, a market, maybe I could find a market. It's like, then maybe your why is very weak. It always boils down to the why you do this, right? And, and it's like, and that was just kind of like an overall thing where it's like, if you can't defend that question, like defend yourself from that question, like who asked for this? Maybe you need to, it's like Joe says, but is that because it comes back to business relying on branding to get people to buy and follow it? Is the comic title being seen as the brand or the publisher? Well, you see, that's the thing. I don't think, just thinking of ElfQuest exists outside of the publishers who distribute it. You see, but I think like right now I'm kind of talking because I'm kind of like in this weird space, and I think that this is where this kind of like
Sorry.
that but the thing is, but that's the correct answer. Who asked for this? I did. You know how I know? Because I made it. And it's like, and I want to see this story, and I want to see, and I'm working on it towards an ending, and it's like it exists because I wanted it to exist.
And who asked you to come to this table?
Right, exactly. So it's like, but if that's your question to me, you know, who asked for this? It's like, well, if you didn't ask for it, you're at the wrong table.
Word.
If this is not something you're interested in, because I've had people act like, be those assholes at conventions.
Have you really?
It's like, I don't like this shit. It's like, well, then don't buy it.
Then you're wasting your time standing here looking at it.
Then you better go. Then you better go find something that you do like.
Right.
And it's like, and I think it has, and it's like, and I think the, people who act like that, they just want to, they're, probably like having a shit day or something, and they just want to make you upset along with them. And what I found is nothing makes people like that more upset than your resistance to that, to their attitude. Where it's like, well, who asked for that? Well, move on. It's like I did. It's like, I don't like this. Then go find something you like. Yeah, but right. I don't like it. So what? Who are you to me?
Right.
I don't care if you don't like it. You're not my audience. Huh. Right. And it's like, and it's just kind of like really strange. Right. And that also led to like another like thought that I had too, where it's like the idea that I don't want everybody to be in my audience. And I think that that's also like another thing too, because it's like, why are you, if you don't like something that I'm doing, why are you arguing with me about it? And Nicholas says, see, they think they're entitled to punish you for not meeting their desires. You're supposed to grovel. Right. Because, who wanted this? May not be the right question. It's why are you telling this story? The answer is because I'm the only one who can't. Well, that's true. But who wanted this? Your problems are not my concern. Absolutely.
Talk to your therapist, baby.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like the argument that it's like, it's like, if you don't, it's like, if you don't give in to AI, then it's like you're going to be judged for not using AI. And I don't give a shit. Why should I give a shit? I don't give a shit. Oh, you're going to get judged. No, I'm not. That's not my problem. I mean, it's like, it's kind of like those same tired arguments, where people are trying to shame you, and it's like, no, that's no. I mean, it's like, if you don't like my work the way it is, that's not my problem. You're the one that has to go looking for what you want. You coming to me and fighting me about what I made that has nothing to do. That's a you problem.
Your entertainment is not my responsibility.
Right. Because if this isn't what you like, then why are you here? Why are you arguing with me? And it's like, and it's always like, well, it's like, you just lost a customer. I never gained one.
Had one. What?
I never had one. You were never my customer. Why am I going to fight for you?
Oh, you just lost a customer. Oh,
you know that bullshit, right? Because it's like, that's usually the thing that comes out eventually when you're having that type of stupid argument, right? Like I said, I've had these stupid shit conversations at conventions. I could do that. So go do it. Last I checked, I was the one behind the table, not you. You know, like all those little stupid passive aggressive, you know, commentary. And, you know, and it's like, and that only like reminded me, it's like, you know what? I don't want you, if this is how you're going to be, I don't want you as part of my audience. You know, that's like, but it's like you said that they want me to grovel for their attention, and it's like, no, you're not the only person here. You know, so I don't beg, not for stupid shit like that.
I bet you would though.
You know, and I think, hey Lou, and you know, and I think that, you know, there's kind of like this thing. It's like, oh, the audience. And I'm like, you know, there are people in that audience I don't want. You know, it's like they may think they're part of my audience, but you know, like I don't know, like kind of like there's this, you know, like, so on a previous show I talked about how Gemini tried to make AI images of Eagle Raven without me asking for it. Right? And it prompted something. It popped up something. Like I said, I didn't get a good look at it. I just got enough of a look to know which scene it had taken the prompts from. Right? Because I was using, you know, it's like, it was just like I was trying to find something. I was just trying to figure out like something for an Instagram carousel, and Gemini popped up artwork for that carousel without me asking for it.
Ew.
And I knew which scene it had taken it from. I had recognized, I saw just enough of the image to recognize what scene it was. And I also recognized that kind of like sloppy paint, like sloppy in terms of AI slop painting, that painterly style it likes to do. It's kind of like a whole mishmash of everybody, you know, doing fantasy paintings, you know. And I saw it for a split second and I just closed out. I was so mad I closed out the entire browser. So it's like I closed down, I rebooted my computer. I was so disgusted. And like I said, I don't understand how anybody can do like AI bullshit and pretend that they did something.
Right.
You know, like I don't understand that. You know, it's like, it's kind of like when like Everett Hartsoe years ago, when he was first getting into this and he was like challenging people. It's like, now I know better that people who post up AI shit like that they're actually engagement farming. They're not really asking for an actual debate or conversation about this, because this had happened. Some nobody artist.
This happened to me just very recently from a writer that I once really loved and respected. And now I'm really disgusted.
So Everett Hartsoe had posted up the original sketch that he did, and then he posted up the AI version, slop version that came out, and he was trying to act like they were both the same thing. And pretty much everyone was going, "You stupid." Right? And I go, "Okay, you know what? I'll take you up on the challenge." Right? And I told him, it's like, look, this is your artwork is something that I can actually, oh my God, Einstein's acting up. So don't ignore that noise in the background.
He's busy.
Yeah, he's busy. He's busy building IKEA furniture in the cage, I think, or something. I don't know what he's doing. So like the original artwork that he did, I go, look, this is an Everett Hartsoe piece. I know it's you. Because it's you. It's your sketch. Your hand made this artwork.
Right.
The AI piece, I don't know who that is. Like, I don't know her. Like, all it did was just take what you drew and sanded off all the edges into this fake polished turd that anybody could have done. Because anybody can use AI. Anybody could have just, you know, like, there's nothing in this piece that says that it's yours, except for you saying that you're the one that ran it through ChatGTP or wherever, or Midjourney or whatever the fuck garbage you're using. Right? That there is nothing of this piece that says this is an Everett Hartsoe piece that he put in the time and the care and the craft to do it. Right? It's just AI slop. Who gives a shit? Right? I don't, and in the, it's like pretty much I said my piece and I left, because like, what, I'm not going to sit here, especially once I realized that he was just engagement farming. Like he wasn't really doing anything. So just recently, I guess like another person is doing the same thing. It's like their engagement farm. Oh, I took my artwork that I failed at and now I'm running it through AI to make this glossy upscaled version of it. And now I'm going to be able to sell it or something. Oh, because I have to support my family. I have to feed my kids. Right. And now, look, the original artwork wasn't that good to begin with, but that's in the end, that's none of my business. It's like, look, obviously you need, you need to practice your skill and whatnot. If this is something you really want to do, that's what, you have to up your game, your skill game. But instead, he's just going to run it through AI and call it a day. This is how he goes, oh, this is how I'm going to make my comics because, I have to feed my family. Right. And of course, the question is, well, what was he supposed to do? And I go, look, if he wasn't feeding his family on the original rougher version of his comic, he's not going to feed his family over this glossy AI slop version of his comic. What he should have done is that if he wasn't interested in upping his skills, he should have just gotten a job. If he was that concerned about feeding his family, get a job. Because you sucked before, you sucked before AI, you're sucking after AI. Your position is not going to improve on this. Except now there's nothing about the AI version that's yours. And like I said, I had Gemini. It's like, look, Gemini just made shit for me. And I'm like going, how much of an absolute mediocre asshole do you have to be in order to take what this computer just shat out and say, I did this? And it's like, look, I understand you love to do comics, right? I understand that that everyone is willing to put up with the struggle of comics because they have this need to do something. They want to be creative. Right? But if you're just outsourcing everything to a goddamn corporate computer, what are you doing? Because like I said, you suck before, you're going to suck after. Garbage in, garbage out. The age-old, number one rule of computers: garbage in, garbage out. Just because the shit looks like a shitty version of Larry Elmore doesn't mean that all of a sudden people are going to start flocking to your book when they were ignoring it before. And not only that, so it's like, so here I have Gemini making fucking AI Eagle Raven slop, right? That I didn't ask for. It just made it. Right? And it's like, you know what? People who would, it's like, and I've said, and I've kind of like in very low moments have said, oh, I think, it's like maybe if my artwork were better, people would enjoy Eagle Raven more, or people would be attracted to my book more. Right?
Everybody goes through that.
But it's like, you know what? I don't want an audience that's made up of people who are wowed by AI garbage.
No.
I really don't. Like honestly, Gemini doing that shit for me was just like it really clarified certain things for me. And it's like, that's why, like, no, you cannot shame me into using AI. Oh, but they're going to judge you. It's like, who's going to judge me? Who? Some mediocre loser who only sees What? Really?
Someone's opinion I don't give a fuck about.
I'm gonna worry about that. You know, I'm going to worry about some goldfish brain who can't tell, who does it, who just sees this as content. You know, who's impressed by a fucking plagiarism machine that doesn't do what these assholes keep claiming that it does. You know, it's like I'm going. They're going to shame. No, fuck that. They're going to shame me. Oh no, no, that is not no. You know, and it's like, and here's the thing. And also, the other weirdest thing about that post was that the guy was feeding his kids. Yeah, you know what's funny? I have never heard anybody say that they needed to use Photoshop because they have to feed their kids.
Huh.
Oh, you know, it's like I'm you know, you know, it's like, oh, I have to.
Woe is me.
I can't support my family, so I have to use Photoshop. I have never heard that argument. Like it is, and it's like, no, but for some reason, you know, it's kind of like also the people say that's like, oh, like if you're against AI, you're ableist because it allows disabled people to make artwork. And it's like, they're not making anything. One, AI is not making anything. Like I said, Gemini did that shit on its own. I didn't ask for it. So what was I making? Right? And two, there have been disabled artists succeeding since the dawn of time. There was an Oscar-winning fucking movie about that. You know? So it's like, it's like, what, all of a sudden you're concerned about, you know, but you know what? It's the same thing with NFTs, right? When NFTs was circling the bowl, that's when they were talking about, oh, you know, it's like NFTs allows minority artists to make, you know, to get in, you know, and it's like, it allows to succeed. It allows disabled people to succeed, and crypto allows people. And it's like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And you know, and they only make that because they're trying to use this language of social justice to guilt you into using this technology. It's like, look, honey, if the technology was that useful, you wouldn't have to guilt us. You wouldn't have to say anything. Not a word. You know, you wouldn't have to guilt us and kind of like pressure us. It's like, oh, but my kids, they're starving. Then get a job. Because the AI is not improving your comic the way you think it is. You know, look, there's only two types of people who are making money on AI on Kickstarter. It's Everett Hartsoe and pornographers. Those are the only two people who are making, and the only reason Everett Hartsoe is making money on that shit is because he built that audience. You know, for 20 years, for 40, 40 years is Brian Pulido. But it's like, around like close to like 35 years, you know, yeah, they're hiding behind their kids. Right. You know, it's like, look, if AI is so helpful to you, then just then shut up and just fucking use it.
Right. Nobody cares anymore. Just shut up. Just shut up so I can just like unfollow you low key and just,
right.
We don't have to talk.
And that's it. It's like, if you're good, why do you have to bring your kids into it? You know, and one, it's Facebook. You probably don't even have kids anyway. You're probably just making all this shit up. You're probably just engagement farming anyway. It's probably not real. You're just,
I'm sure they have
just. You know, you're just doing that to just farm engagement. You know, it's like when you could have just as easily talked about how Ezekiel 3:16 is you know, in the Bible or whatever the fuck that was.
Wait, no, it was no.
You know, it was Austin 3:16.
No, that's oh my god.
How Austin 3:16 is in the Bible. You could have gotten the same engagement. You know, so it's like, yeah. So you know what? It's like, I'm suspicious of anybody who has to defend has to hide behind their kids or their poverty or their minority status to use AI. It's like, look, if it's that helpful for you, just fucking use it and shut up.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like, because it's like, look, you know what? In the end, it's like, look, if you don't care about using it, then I don't care about you using it because you're not making anything worth
you
worth
that
it
I'm going to be
anyway.
interested in anyway. So just shut up and move on.
So just shut up and use it. You know, but what you're trying to do is guilt me into not judging you. And it's like, nah, bruh. That's been done already. We're way past that.
Right?
We're way past you being judged on using this garbage. You know? It's like I said before, they're not angry about us not using AI. They're angry about us judging them. And it's like, that's not my problem. That's a you problem if you're upset at me judging you for that. Just like the idea of
and
them
just like it's a me problem for judging you. Okay, so let's just
that's
shut
my
up
business.
business.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's my business. You know, me judging you is my business. If you want to use that, you think Everett Hartsoe gives a shit? No, of course not. He's too busy making his thousands of dollars, his 5 figures on Kickstarter, and then selling the rights to Hollywood. You know, it's like, that's what he does. That's his business model. You know, so it's like, who gives a shit? You know, but it's like, it's like, but to say that, oh, you know, it's like, oh, you're going to miss out, you know, shut up and do the work. Yeah. Shut up and do something. You know,
that's what I'm saying. And
thank you. Yes. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, you're going to be left behind. No, I'm not. You're going to be judged for not using AI. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be judged.
And if I am, I don't give a fuck.
You know, and like I said, who's doing the judging? Why do I give a shit? Why do I care? You know? You know, if anything,
acknowledge me, Cyberlink.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what they're doing. You know, and the thing is, though, and it's like, look, it's kind of like, you know, it's like, look, if you want to scream poverty, your poverty as to why you're using AI, right? Which in the end, that is the idea, that it's like only poors are going to use AI, because you think any of these goons selling this shit allow their kids to use this garbage? Of course not. You know, there's a reason why, you know, these rich people schools don't have iPads and shit in them.
Right.
You know, like that, but
extra art programs.
Right. They have all the art programs. They have all, you know, the
all the music,
and they have the music. Well, but we're the ones who are supposed to use AI. Remember, it's like AI is going to be the new poverty indicator. And this guy was proving it. That's like, oh, I am in poverty, so I have to use AI. And it's go, bro. It's like, if I'm going to fight for something, it's not going to be for your right to use this shit.
No.
You know, and yeah, it's, you know, it's like, I'm going to fight for your right to be able to get a job jobs that pay living wages, that pays, you know, it's like to create, I'm going to fight for a society that allows you to live so that you can create honestly. That's what I'd rather fight for. I'm not going to fight for a poor person's right to use AI. I'm going to fight for that, for people to stop being impoverished, purposefully impoverished. Remember, poverty is a social construct. Poverty exists because capitalism needs poverty to exist. It is poverty is created. It's not a personal failure. The only thing that keeps people poor is lack of money.
Thank you.
You know, because everything that people say causes poverty does not affect people with money.
We in church. Hold on, let me get it.
So me, AI is not a part of this solution. So that's not what I'm going to fight for. The fact that you think that you need to use AI to feed your family, those are two different issues. Because AI is not going to fix it.
That part.
It's not going to fix that part.
No.
Why? Because you were a mediocre creator before, and you're going to continue being a mediocre creator, and AI is not going to fix that for you. It's literally just polishing a turd, which means that you have other issues you need to fix first. And one of them may be just getting a job.
Fuck.
You know? And it's look,
you can laugh my panties off, Daphne.
Right.
Like, you are so hot right now.
Oh boy. I am actually. It is stuffy. But the second I open up that window, it's going to drop to 30 degrees in this office. You know, but yeah, so it's like, so look, I understand. It's like, you know, whether you're looking, it's like, look, like I said, there's the people who are struggling to make comics a business already, you know, because it's tough. It's tough enough. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. You know, it's tough enough, you know, to do that because you're in a creative field that's not like, look, that unless you're a corporation, unless you have the bankroll to really force your vision through, you're going to have a hard time, right? And then conversely, you have the people who just want to be artists who are going through the same thing. Unless they have the money to force their vision through, they're going to have a hard time. So technically we're in the same boat, whether we're looking at it in art or as commerce. And like I said, the funniest thing about the people who are looking at it as art is that to see so many artists actually get excited when they get the real job, when they finally get a real job that pays their bills. And then all of a sudden they get really excited at the idea that they don't have to monetize their art anymore. Because now they have the job. Hello, art victim. Hello. That they now have the job that takes the commerce out of their artwork and they're able to go back to doing art. Right. So on the business side, though, I'm not really sure how that functions because you've already made your art commerce. And now it's just you're just banging your head against the wall. As to like making it a viable business. And I really don't know, you know, because, okay. So I keep getting thrown off of the thing that I wanted to say.
Oh,
so
let's do that.
So I'm in this weird space, right? Where I am so over the idea of comics as a business. I am really, even though that was never my intention, but like the whole thing with marketing and, you know, thinking about, you know, like thinking about that, you know, and it's like when I stopped thinking about marketing, it really cleared my head, you know, and stopped worrying about algorithms and this, that, and the other thing. It's like, look, do I have a Kickstarter going on? Yeah, I'm going to post to Facebook. I'm going to post it to these places, but I'm not going to worry about marketing as a whole.
Right.
You know, I mean, because in the end, like I said, the problem is money. That's the problem. If I have a problem with marketing, it's because I don't have the money, the amount of money that's necessary to bankroll a way to force my book into the spaces that I want to be in, you know? And it's like, and in the end, it's like, you know what? I'm just going to stop doing that. And it allowed me to be more creative instead of worrying about business, you know? It's like, you know, like I wasn't this all the time.
Business. Numbers. Is this working? Yes.
Yay! No! It's not working. So, you know, and then what I found what that did is that it created less patience. I have less patience for me, less patience for people who that's the only way they look at comics. Business,
Yes.
business, business, business. Everything, like every angle of like I only want to really talk about comics in a creative in a creative space, as a creative space, not as a business space.
Business, business, business. Numbers. Is this working? Yes.
No,
Yay!
no, no.
Yay!
I don't want to, like, I really don't want, like, I don't have the patience for that type of talk anymore. I don't want to hear about your marketing or your IPs, or it's like, oh, it's like, or, it's like, oh, but what about a Netflix deal? But what if? And it's like, you know what? What if, it's like, oh, but what if someone offered you $20 million? What if the moon was made out of pudding? It doesn't, it's a meaningless it's a meaningless conversation to me. It's like, you know what, it's like, look, I'm able to do my comics the way I can, because like I said, I'm sitting on the shoulders of people who planned this life out that I was able to take advantage of. It's like, look, I'm just going to outright say that, it's like that I'm in a privileged position, and to say it like, it's like I check my privilege and I like it. And it's like, I just have to admit to that, because you know what? Because like when I did try to talk about business, it's like the one thing that I kept getting pushback anyway, because, oh, it's easy for you to say that because you're in this position. So it's like, so even if I wanted to talk to business, like, oh, well, yeah, you can ignore it because, you don't have to pay your bills. You don't have. So it's like, you know what, then I don't need to talk to you about business then. That I don't need to. It's like, you know what, if you're going to keep telling me that my concerns about the business side doesn't matter because of how I'm doing, because of the privilege that I have, then I don't need to take anything seriously about business at all then. It's like, okay, so it's like, you know what? It's like, so now it's like, okay, you know what? If I'm that privileged that I can actually look at my shit as artwork, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's who I want to talk to. And I don't have patience for people who want to whine about why, like, oh, I've been in this business for so long. Why am I not more successful? And it's like, well, are you really asking that because you want actual solutions, or are you just whining? Because either way, I can't handle the conversation. Because if you don't want solutions from me, I'm not going to give you platitudes either. Word. I'm not going to pat you on the ass and go, oh, one day you'll find your audience, or this, that, and the other. It's like, no, it's like, you know what? It's like, tell me about your world building. Tell me about your characters. Tell me about why your stories really mean something to you.
Make me want to whoop your ass. Oh, wait,
no.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Right. Yeah,
I drifted.
Tell me why you care about what you do outside of the business. Because in the end, if you think your business is failing, why are you still doing this? Well, people forget about that. The whole it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, Michelangelo and this, that, and the other thing. Why were they doing the Sistine Chapel and artwork is like this? It's like, yeah, it's the Medicis, bro. It's the Medicis. The Medicis made it happen. But you know what? The version of the Medicis now, they're trying to force AI on everybody.
Ew.
You know what? And you know what? The one conversation I definitely cannot have with somebody who is, doing this AI slop shit is, why do you care? What is it about your work that makes you care? I can't have that conversation with AI assholes. It's like, because you didn't do anything. You put in a prompt and the thing shit out slop for you, and I'm supposed to pretend that this means something? It's the same thing. Like I said, it's like with the with the editor who said that that they get around AI submissions by asking directly about the book to the person who wrote it. Because if they actually wrote it, they won't shut up about it. Meanwhile, AI authors have no idea what you're talking about. Because what kind of thought process do you put in seconds worth of work? You know? Like if you can type in a prompt and an AI can write a novel for you in 40 minutes that you could just put up on Amazon, what can I talk to you? What can you tell me about it? You know, what, if you wanted to see a book with your name on the cover, you didn't need AI for that. You could have just photoshopped that shit and call it a day.
I have crayons.
You know, like I'm in this like kind of like this position where it's like I want to hear more about people's work in a more creative angle. I want to hear why you're doing this. Why, it's like why this excites you. Why are you in comics? For fuck's sake. You're here for a reason. Tell me why you care. Tell me why you love this. You know? Because if you don't enjoy this, if this is just you're just making product, and at the same time you're complaining as to why you're not more successful, why are you here? Because obviously you're not good at that either. Oops. And it's like, and it makes these conversations really confusing for me. Because it's like, if you're going to ask the question, why am I not succeeding at this? But you don't want to really think about the answers to that. And mind you, look, the answer probably has nothing to do with the work that you're making. It's just that we're in a shit environment for this. And unless you have the bankroll to push your vision through, it's not going to happen. Sometimes it's just that. But it's like, for some reason, it's like, oh, well, do you want to really have a conversation as to why you're not succeeding? People, it's like, oh, you're going to tell me I suck? I don't know. Do you? Do you suck? I mean... Or, it's like, or it's just that, and you know what? And even if you did, how do you feel about the work you're making? Do you enjoy your work, the work that you're doing? Do you enjoy making it? Is that, it's like, is that, like, if you were in front of a fortune teller and you ask the fortune teller, what's my future in comics? Right? And... will I ever be rich and famous from comics? Will I ever support myself on comics? And the fortune teller goes, nah, this is it. Whatever you have now is what you have. That's it. It's not going to get any better than this. Right? It's like,
would you stay or would you go?
Right. Like, how would you react to that answer? And that's not even like talking about quality of work or anything. Like, we're not even talking about anything else. It's just the idea that if this is all you're going to have, this is as high as you're going to go, right? What would you do with that information? For me, I wouldn't do anything. I would just be like, oh, okay. Now that takes a lot of pressure off. I could just continue doing what I'm doing and not worry about it. That would be my reaction to it, to that question. It wouldn't affect anything that I'm doing, because it's like, I'm telling a story that's entertaining me first. And it's like, and I do have about 100 people who regularly, 130, 150 people who regularly read it. And it's like, you know what? Have you had 150? Have you tried to fit 150 people in your own house? That's a lot of people all of a sudden.
I am not even interested in that many people.
So it's
that's like too much.
Right. So it's like, okay, It's like, all right. So like I said, it takes a lot of pressure off, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. But what if, but it's like, so yeah. So it's like, so how would, it's like, again, like how strong is your why? For, you know what, in the end, forget about the quality of your work and whether people like your work or don't like your work. It's like, look, not your audience, not everybody is part of your audience. Not everybody deserves to be part of your audience. Are you so focused so much on the money and not the story and art? It's not getting the option more important than finishing the story. Will you quit if you didn't sell one issue or finish the story? Again, why? Is your why strong enough? If you're not succeeding, right? And again, success, I don't know what that means. I don't know what the word success means, because everybody has a different. My success is someone else's failure. Someone else's failure could be my success. Because God knows there are people who talk about failing at $16,000 on Kickstarter, and I go, bitch, I'd be thrilled to fail at $16,000. So it's like, so I don't even know what success means. Like, what is it? It's like, why are you here? Right. And the thing is, though, it's like, and I'm not asking that question for people to be defensive about it. I'm asking that question for people to, like, it's like, if you're
consider
it, Jesus Christ,
some self-reflection here.
Some self-reflection, right? But I've been told that asking for self-reflection is too much. That's too much of an ask.
That
people,
it's kind of like personal accountability is pretty expensive too.
And it's like, look, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. These headphones, I don't know, bugging me. Maybe I need to get new headphones. I don't know.
You're pretty. Stop it. You're so cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 10 would hit.
Right. Oh, thank you. So I don't know. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like I said, maybe I'm just in like a weird space where it's like this whole comics as a business thing. I just find tiresome. And it's like, and I'm trying to find another outlet. And I guess, like, let me throw this idea, because it's like, I don't know. It's like, sometimes I really play around with the idea of maybe just doing like another show where I'm just like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like going back to doing interviews again, but it's like, I'm just talking to people about the creative aspect of their work.
Good luck with that. You got to find people who can carry that conversation.
I mean, and that's kind of like,
it's my passion project, strong female character, and all the other.
And then it's like they just move completely into marketing.
Yeah. Like,
as opposed to like, like talking about why they do what they do. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I've been playing around with the idea. But yeah, it's like, you're right. It's like, I don't know whether like we're just also business rotted, that it's like that it's gotten to a point where we can't talk about our creativity unless it's through the lens of marketing. That, I don't know, like we're unable to have those conversations anymore. Like, I don't know.
Right.
That's a lot easier to go on a marketing podcast, and talk about your Kickstarter in terms of a business, as opposed to like actually talking about your process. Why do you do the things that you do? Again, it's like, I don't know. I like I said, I'm kind of still ruminating. I'm not committed to the idea. I don't know. Probably, maybe it's like I have to like get myself into a new pattern again. Because like I said, there's a lot of changes now, and it's like I have to kind of like get used to the new normal and like kind of see like what exactly. Because like the one thing that I would do, I mean, I know I should be wrapping it up, is that I wouldn't want to do a like a dedicated like a time and a place. It's like, oh, like every Wednesday or every Saturday or something. Like it would probably
Daphne, why are you overthinking again? You know how you solve that?
What?
If you find somebody that you want to interview, you'd be like, hey, Nita, I got somebody today and I just don't show up, and you put them in this spot.
Right.
You don't have to create a new show.
Right.
That's too much fucking work.
Right. Or, well, because scheduling for the other person is always an issue. So it's like,
true,
so instead of
but you can
committing
pre-record
a time, well, but I still like the interaction of a live stream. So my idea was like, do a show, but on the interviewee's schedule. So if I get somebody, it's like, oh, well, I can only do a show. I can only do the live stream at 11 o'clock at night. That's when it would go live.
Oh, well, fuck yeah. Do that.
You know, then. Like if someone says, well, I can do the live stream for you. I can do a live stream with you, but at 8 a.m. That's when it would go live. Oh, there we go. I have my first. There. Okay. So people do like the idea. So, so it wouldn't be a set schedule. So pretty much you would have to follow the channel.
Right.
For you to catch these live streams, because it wouldn't be on a set schedule.
Right.
So that's kind of like, so I'm trying to figure out see the viability of these logistics.
Yeah.
So it's like it'd be, so it's like, okay, so because I don't want to lock anything in, because I know that there's certain times where people they're just not available. And that adds to the difficulty of getting guests on such a show. So I don't know. I just got to think about it a little bit more. Actually, I just got to get myself to a point where I feel like I can commit to a show like that. Right. But yeah, probably I just have to grab somebody. It's like, okay, let's do this show.
And never get a guest when their Kickstarter's live. Everybody wants you when you got a live Kickstarter, and because that's all the conversation's going to turn to.
That's a good point.
Do not do anyone with active campaigns,
because then it forces them to just think of their project as just
That's going to be all that's on their mind.
Right? Yeah. So yes, I still got to think about that, but or commit myself to it. I'm not ready to commit to it yet.
Hey, I got to pee.
And I'm actually hungry. So yeah, you know what? Let's wrap this up. So thank you everybody for joining us in the chat and keeping us company. Thank you so much to all of our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. And while you're joining us here, whether you're catching us right now or you're catching us on the replay, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live, especially this secret one, not so secret one that I'm thinking of doing. So, any final thoughts, Nita, except for that you gotta go bathroom?
I just gotta pee, and I want to see if I have munchies.
Oh, there you go, because I definitely do. If you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my Kickstarters and everything else, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn for free. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com, and read the archive of over 1,000 hand-drawn pages there. Keep you busy. If you wanted to do anything else but doom scroll and try to figure out whether certain Bible phrases are fake or not. And don't forget, while you're on either the websites or even just now, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. Hit the link there where you can keep up to date with all of my art, my sketchbooks, my comics, and Kickstarters, like I said before. And while you're at it, just by signing up, you get a free PDF comic bundle. There we go. You can hit the QR code right here, where you can get a free PDF comics bundle where you can read Eagle Raven for free, you can read Tall Tales for free, and you can read the Oswald Chronicles for free and try out all these books. So remember, we have campaigns also. The links are in the chat as well. We have Adventure Finders, we have Magi's Grace, and we have Snowball Volume 1. Links are in the chat as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again on this Monday. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall.